What's going on, everyone? Today I'm reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and the biggest takeaway I got from it was they talk about, like, in my own experience. Ooh, don't want to cover the camera. In my own experience, I've been super focused on production, sale, closing, end of the day, and I understand, like, you have to build stuff too at the same time. But I'm super, when I start something, it's super result driven. It's super like, not how does this monetize, but it's super result driven, super result driven, super production driven. And the chapter I'm reading today talked about there needs to be some type of balance between the production and the producing asset. So some of the ways that I might have screwed this up myself have been when I was waking up at 3:30 in the morning. I was only getting like a couple hours of sleep every day, and I was waking up at like 3, going to the gym a couple times a day. Yes, at the end of the day, I was getting bigger muscles. I was like working harder. I was pushing myself to get that higher end result. But at what cost? If I'm the producing asset that's going to allow me to get those results, what am I losing out on long term by neglecting the asset that's going to produce those results, which is myself, by going and not getting enough sleep? And then somebody I guess I looked up to as a fitness mentor told me, like, I need my hourly sleep type thing. So I started getting like a full, not as much probably as I should, but more sleep, and I've been feeling better, I guess, health wise. But another way I could have done it, I guess, is when I had a sales team working for me, focusing too much on getting that end result and making like the short-term bottom line profit as much as possible, and maybe not paying high enough, which I could always pay more with whoever employees, or not focusing enough on my employee who's going to take care of my end customer at the end of the day. So there's the end result that you want, or the golden egg. Let's call it the goose and the golden egg. There's the end result that you want, that's the golden egg. And there's the goose that produced the golden egg, which is the producing asset. So the produce and the producing asset. And you have to focus on balancing both, is what the book is saying, to be truly effective. And if you focus too much on just the result, just the bottom line, just the end of the day, and you neglect the producing asset, you're not going to have the asset to produce the end result. And if you focus too much on just the asset and you're not getting any results, then you're not going to have the results to, let's say, pay for the producing asset. So if you just focus on, let's say it's a sales employee, if you just focus on paying making sure your employee feels good and gets paid well and all that stuff, but you don't have any results from that employee, which I made both mistakes with the same employee, which is weird as hell. But so at one point I wasn't paying enough to my sales employees. They would bring me a check for $5,000 and I would pay them, I think, like $220 commission on that. And then it was all net aside from the labor that was involved. So maybe that wasn't fair. So I was neglecting the producing asset at that point. And then on the same schedule, I was paying my employee because they had helped in the past. I was paying them to like stay on board and help out with things that I might not have needed to pay as much as I did for, because I wanted to not neglect them. So I was like, balancing, it's fun, and it's all a learning experience, so that's okay. But I was paying for that employee, for that salesperson, for that producing asset when they weren't producing anything, and then I couldn't afford to keep paying them because they weren't producing anything. So it's a fun balance. Business is all fun, it's all a learning experience, but that's my takeaway for the day.